Are seeing and feeling them everywhere since our recent heavy rains. We are, of course, talking about mosquitoes. Yeah,
they're all over the place. You'll be happy to know that the city's vector control personnel have already begun spraying to get rid of them. They've started with the Calallen area on the northwest side of the city. Our Taylor Alaniz tagged along with them tonight.
Even on our way to our story today, we're already getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. But the good news is vector control is on the way. Vector Control started spraying larvicide on Saturday, which prevents mosquito eggs from hatching. Then on Monday night, they started spraying adulticide. Currently, they divide the city up into 32 different sections. And right now, they are seeing the most mosquitoes in the northwest side of town.
The areas that we targeted are based on the number of mosquitoes that we have trapped in those areas. The higher concentration of mosquitoes, we felt it's most urgent to get out there and start spraying.
But of course, we are seeing them everywhere. Program manager Mike Gillis says Vector Control will start spraying every day around dusk till about 1 or 2 in the morning.
Mosquitoes tend to go dormant at 2 in the morning to gather energy to come out and attack us first thing in the morning.
Right now, Vector Control is working on updating their map and a way citizens can look online to see where they are spraying. A big concern for city leaders is if the company has enough supplies. Well, Vector Control managers say they do have enough for this series of sprays and are working with both the city and state to make sure it stays that way in the future. And they are happy to report that they have not found any mosquitoes in their traps with the West Nile virus. Vector Control will be spraying the south sides of town in the next couple of days, including Kings Crossing and Flower Bluff. For now, on the northwest side, Taylor Alaniz, 3 News.